Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Owl Nighter. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how I study my math notes, or for math class in general. In my back to school haul, I showed you that I use this expandable folder to store every math thing that my teacher gives me. And to start off, I am a senior in high school and I have calculus, AB, AP as my math class. But these methods you can use them for any math class: algebra 2, geometry, algebra 1, pre-cal, stats, anything, and even middle school math. Okay, so let's show you what's inside my folder. So I divide my folder into 4 sections, and these sections are homework, quizzes, notes, and then reviews. Now we'll start with homework. These are okay. This section, I leave a front section in the front just to keep my to-do homework. Now the section in the back where it says homework is the homework that I already did, or he already picked up and graded. And then I have my quizzes section, notes. Now for notes, we have a combination of just paper notes where he gives us notes and we write on them, and for extra, we have composition notebook. Now he hasn't taught us anything that should be on a composition notebook, but he does have a YouTube channel, so I do go watch his YouTube channel before I take that lesson just to get a head start and take notes on that video. Now, not every teacher in the world has a YouTube channel, but if your teacher does have a YouTube channel, or you can find that that subject on YouTube in general, or on Khan Academy, because Khan Academy has everything, just go watch it. Just have a head start. Not even if you don't want to, you don't have to take notes on it like I do, but just go watch it, get a head start what your teacher's going to talk about in the class, and take some notes on it if you can. So these are my notes. I just take notes and do the examples that he gives in the videos. And I remind myself of things to do on the tests and quizzes. I stopped right there because it's only been a week of school. But yes, that's how I take my notes. And obviously reviews, we don't have reviews. The only thing we have is like a guide, like a review guide where he gives us the topics that we should study and just to study. Now that's what's in my folder. Now how I organize my folder and how I study for that math class. Now like in my school, it's divided into weeks. Like first 9 weeks we have a test, second 9 weeks we have a test. It depends on the teacher, but that's how it's divided. And what I do is paper clip those notes together so I know which notes belong to which 9 weeks. So when I study for the exam at the end of the semester, I have all of them there. So let's see. I have, okay. So here is the summer packet that we have a test on soon. So I'm going to show you how I study for this test, and this is the summer packet that we had to do, but we have a test on it, and since we were out of school because of Harvey, we still didn't have a test on this. So we're gonna have a test on it in a week, and I'm going to show you what I did, and I obviously answered this homework in the summer, but I'll show you what is my steps to answer these. So all we need for right now is some paper clips. Now I got these from the dollar stores. They're really cheap, but you have to get the colored ones because there's a point to that. So there is red, white, yellow, and green. And there's blue in there, but I just use the blue for the function of a normal paper clip. Now for these, they have different functions in my, for red, it's a question, and I'll show you an example in a bit. For green, that means it had been answered. Obviously, that's the question. For yellow is attention. And for white, I have to redo. He does go through a couple questions, and like I mentioned, he has a YouTube channel, and he answers some of the questions there. Now, I recommend 100% recommendation is when you're correcting a question in class or it's online, or whether you're correcting it with friends, to use a different color, whether that's red, that's orange, that's blue, doesn't matter. I'm assuming that you use pencil to do your homework for math, so use a different color than a pencil. Use a pen to correct it. And for a check mark, obviously that's right, and other than a check mark is wrong. Now I'll show you when I went through and this is wrong, and I wrote why it's wrong and how to correct it. Now correcting it, yes, will solve the point, but you have to write why is it wrong to really understand where you made your mistake. And like you see here, I do have paper clips here. So this one was wrong and I needed him to do it in class. So that's why I flagged it with a red paper clip, so he can be answered. Now obviously he already answered my question, but I just put it inside for sureness, or for show you for the sake of example. And when he does answer my question, I exchange it for a green paper clip, which that means my question has been answered and I shouldn't have any problem with that question when I come back and redo it. Now there is another question right here where it needs to be answered, and he answered my question, and when he does, when I get back home, I remove that red paper clip into a green one. This question has been answered. And this is just the things that I use. Now, I didn't use any attention or redo for here because I knew that I'm gonna redo the whole packet again. So I didn't think there was a point to use those. But sometimes I do use for attention. That means it's very important. You should pay attention to this because he's gonna take off points on the test if you don't do this. And for redo, well, I knew that I'm gonna redo the whole packet, so there was no point of me putting for every single question a paper clip, if that makes sense. And it's fun at the same way. And when you're done with that unit, you can just go back to all your homeworks and just take out the paper clips to reuse them. All right, now I showed you how I organize my notes and my homework and quizzes, but now I haven't showed you how I study for the test. I obviously don't go back and do every single homework problem that he gave us because that would be a lot and that would take a lot of time. So I use this method. I use the white paper clip to just go back and see which one I made a mistake on and redo that problem or that homework as a whole. Now, he hasn't given us any quizzes yet, so I don't have anything to show you, but I would absolutely redo all the quizzes. So, a first step to studying for a test, studying for a math test, is redoing all the quizzes. Why? Because there are so many ways to ask that question, and they're not gonna come up with a different way to ask a question differently than it's on the quiz. And if they did, that's for the minority of the questions, but for the majority of them, they're gonna be the same type of questions that were on the quiz, they're gonna be on the test. So study your quizzes, know how your teacher asks that specific questions, and practice them again and again. And then the second point is teach to learn. Now that's why I have a whiteboard, because I think writing it on a whiteboard and just saying it out loud like you're teaching it to someone, even though there's no one in the room, will help you understand the material better than actually sitting down and just learning it by yourself. So teach it. If you can teach it to a friend or tutor it to someone, that would be great. But if you don't have anybody and everybody understands everything, so teach it, I don't know, to anything, to the air. Teach it to anyone. And teaching it or having that mindset that you're teaching it to someone will help you understand it better. And I would recommend buying or investing in a whiteboard like this. Number 3 is go back and understand your mistake. And I'm talking about the mistakes that you made on the homeworks, the quizzes, and anything. Not just knowing how to answer that specific problem, is knowing why you made that mistake and how to avoid making that the same mistake later on the test. Now these are the 3 tips that I have for you to study for your math exams or math tests, and this is the way I do it. There's a lot many, but this way have helped me a lot during all the classes that I've took in high school and middle school for math. And this method also works for science classes as well. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you liked it. And if you did, please thumbs up and subscribe below. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye.